Welcome back, Dodeca Dorks. It's 12-sided guys. We're playing D&D at this spooky time. Matt is Artis, Ember's played by Scott, Jordan is Burt, and Sabrina is Hop.
The JV team!
Yes, it's the JV team.
The JV team!
Or so it would seem.
The JV team!
For this holiday theme,
The JV team!
yes, it's the JV team. Before we get started, there's just a couple of things. Go check out our shop and get Dodeca Dork Bling. You can chat with us on the Discord app or hang out on Twitch while I make some maps.
Leave a review!
Oh yeah, go leave a review.
Leave a review!
And you can rate us too.
Leave a review!
5 stars will do.
Leave a review!
Or even leave a few. Don't forget we have Patreon. It gives you access to some bonus content. The perks include maps and episodes. Trust me, they're tons of fun. But if you've ever traveled back in time with your dog, and he evolved into a beast with saber-toothed jaws, and later became a sleek Egyptian pooch, then all I can say is this podcast for you.
Crystal Codex!
It's the Crystal Codex.
Crystal Codex!
JVIV is next.
Crystal Codex!
Things are about to get wet.
Crystal Codex!
It's the Crystal Codex.
Wow! Tennis shoes!
Okay. Oh my gosh. Ugh. The small ship bobs up and down as the waves roll underneath. The touchdown had been rough, but now that the airship was no longer lighter than air, the force of the water slamming against the hull had lessened, and the ship now sways with the rhythm of the Sapphire Sea. Everywhere Ember looks, it's the same, an endless plain of greenish-blue water rolling away towards the horizon. She suppresses a shiver, but it's not from the cold breeze blowing off the water.
You sure it's down there, Captain? You can't tell me this stretch of sea looks any different than any of the other seas that we've passed for the last 2 days.
The captain, a bald man in his late 50s, wipes his mouth with the back of his hand and nods. Aye, she's down there. I sailed this sketch of sky for decades, and even though the surface may be different, I am assured that Adrias lies directly below us. He glances over the side of the ship and into the depths of the Sapphire Sea. Too far down to see from here, but she's down there, along with all her secrets. Hop stands close by, but he's not listening to the captain. Instead, he appears lost in thought as the long spool of anchor rope unwinds with a whir.
Come on, Hop. Let's go check everything one last time.
Hop jerks slightly at the sound of Ember's voice, his daydream broken. He looks at her and nods.
Yeah. Sure thing, Ember.
Hop and Ember make their way across the deck and into the aft cabin. Technically the captain's personal bunk, this is the biggest private space on the entire airship. On one wall, there's a table bolted to the wall and 2 small, uncomfortable stools. On another wall, a wardrobe. But the majority of the room is taken up with a large 4-post bed, occupied by a very sick man.
Once we're under the waves, you think the rolling will stop? Or is there like underwater waves?
Burt looks up from the map stretched out across the table.
Huh? Well, once we're under the surface, you'll have other things to worry about than being sick. Like finding our quarry.
Burt returns his attention to the map they had taken from the scavenger's hideout. Imperial facilities are labeled all across it, different symbols indicating each location's specialization, and short directions describing the facility's location. The land masses on the map are 5 years out of date thanks to the shattering, but the locations of the facilities shouldn't have changed much. At least, that's the hope to which Artis, Burt, Ember, and Hop cling. There, marked on the map next to the city of Adrias, Burt reads,
Beneath Haranon Fortress, alternate entry, Cathedral Chapel.
And the symbol, the only one of its kind on the entire map, is a sword. Artis sits up from the bed, his face almost as green as the beat-up jerkin he wears.
Well then, let's get to it. Over the side, find our quarry, back up here and then finally back up in the air away from all this rolling.
Hop pulls out a piece.
No man is that quiet when they're vomiting.
Well, he hasn't vomited yet. He's sucking it back down. He is sucking it back down.
I think Sabrina just cast a vicious mockery right there.
Ooh. Hop pulls out a piece of expensive-looking parchment, intricate and arcane lines scrawled across its surface.
Well, if we're all ready, I'll go to the enchanter and they can use this scroll on us.
No need. They're right here.
Artis turns at the waist and scoops up a small figure out of the bed next to him. While Artis has been ill and occupying the greater part of the captain's bed, one little corner has been filled by a small figure. They wear a purple robe covered in stars and spectacles, which are askew on their nose. The sickly green tinge to their skin matches that of Artis.
Wakey, wakey, Adley the Amazing. Time to earn your pay.
Adley the Amazing groans, then opens their eyes looking up. As they hobble to the table, they ask,
Are you all ready?
Gone are the flamboyant mannerisms and the theatrical gesticulations they had seen in Marlek when they first met Adley the Amazing, a street performer and a mage of adequate skill. All their confidence and poise was now replaced by the intensity and focus that comes from desperately trying not to vomit. Looking down at the parchment, they wave their arms in a weak manner, almost half-heartedly, and manage to blurt out,
Watercarus, Brithicus, For Elongatus, Timacus.
I didn't know you spoke Latin.
Is this Kid Icarus?
Yes, Kid Icarus. They snap their fingers, and immediately the JV team feels a change in their own breathing. Once inside their bodies, the air fills their lungs as normal, but it feels cooler and cleaner in their throats, as if passing through a filter or a sieve upon reaching their mouths. So caught up in this newfound sensation, they fail to notice the tiny wizard bolt through the door to retch over the side. A few minutes later, Artis, Burt, Ember, and Hop bob in the water next to the waiting airship.
2 days. You wait at least 2 days if you want to get the rest of your pay.
A grunt of confirmation from the captain is acknowledgement enough. Then our heroes, the JV team, descend into the darkness of the Sapphire Sea and the dead city of Adrias far below them. So, here we have the JV team as they start to swim beneath the waves of the Sapphire Sea. It starts to get dark really quickly. Below them, the city of Adrias, before it was part of Racolia decades ago, and then it was a city, sort of a smaller port city, as part of the Almerian Empire in the Almar province, kind of on the southern edge of the Sapphire Sea, sort of on the opposite side of the sea from Arkelvy. And they are descending down deep under the surface. As it starts to get dark, is there anything anybody wants to do or can do about how dark it is?
Well, Artis will put on his goggles of the night so he can see underwater and in the darkness. Man, so sometimes this accent's really hard to keep going, but right now I feel like I'm doing a real cracker job.
All right. Does anybody have anything else they want to do?
Ember will cast light on her, like a wristband, or just like on her wristband or something like that to have like a glow stick as she's diving.
Okay, and that will emit how much light?
It's 20 feet.
20 feet bright, 20 feet low.
Yep.
Hop's just going to stay close to Ember at this point. I don't want to burn any of my spell slots.
Yeah. Same thing with Burt. He's going to stay in that light.
All right. So the map that you had seen has this symbol of a sword, and it's over the city of Adrias, and it mentioned the Heranon Fortress, which you guys, after having done some digging and some investigation, would know was a fortress on an island in the middle of the river that kind of fed out into the sea.
I have a quick question about this map that you keep referring to.
Yes.
Did we steal it with a special key that we had to find, went into a facility west of Calta, found a locked room?
As a matter of fact, you did. You guys actually had some run-ins with some scavengers and some of their automatons, including the zappers that were really cool, that nobody else got to see, but you guys got to see them.
Thank goodness we fought them zappers. Whew, didn't think we'd make it through.
My hair is still static from all of that.
If we hadn't gone through that part of the facility and fought those zappers, I would have been really disappointed knowing that they were there, but I never got to see them.
What an adventure, am I right?
What a shame that would have been to have missed that.
Remember how Artis was wielding a hog splitter last time? Well, he doesn't have it anymore. Turns out that those things aren't really built for combat. They're built for like chopping up meat, and they didn't work great against those zappers, and it broke.
Yeah, you guys are heading down into the water over Adrias, and I imagine it feels kind of weird as you guys are breathing in the water. It's not like air, where it kind of fills your lungs. It's got a different feel to it. But you find that you can talk to each other. Sound moves a little bit differently down here, but for all intents and purposes, communication is normal, but movement is not. What's the rules for moving underwater if you don't have a swim speed?
I believe it's half speed.
I believe you are right.
All right, do you guys want me to like scout ahead or something? I can see without the light. I could look around really quick to see if I see any obvious dangers while you poke around a little bit here together.
I didn't realize you were such a swimmer, but that sounds good to me.
I'm really good. Actually, I'm not really good yet, but I bet you by the time I take another level in Ranger, I'll be really, really good.
You keep hoping for that, bud.
Actually, no, it's like level 7 Ranger. You get a swim speed and a climb speed or something crazy.
Oh, cool.
That's awesome.
Oh, that is really cool.
You be safe, and you come back quick. And Ember will give you Bardic Inspiration.
All right. Thank you, Miss Ember.
It's a D10 now.
Oh, wow.
All right. Artis, you go to explore. Are you going to the cathedral? Or are you going to the Haranon Fortress?
I don't know which one is. Hey, guys, should we go to the fortress or should we go to the cathedral?
Ooh, well, I do like architecture.
Well, you guys having gone, looked at the map, you know that basically the cathedral and the fortress are basically the same, like east to west. They're parallel to each other. The cathedral is kind of up on a cliff overlooking the sea, and then the river that kind of feeds into the sea has an island that the Haranon Fortress is on. So they're not that far apart from each other, but it is difficult to see under here because it is so deep under the water.
A quick question for you, Paul. And we are searching for something.
Mm-hmm.
What is it that we are searching for?
Basically, you look at this map and it has all these different symbols on it. Like you see like a symbol of a cog, or you see like a symbol of a drop of water, that type of thing. This is a sword. And seeing a sword, you guys have deduced perhaps there's a weapon here. Perhaps there's something that can be used against the Angel of Inevitability. So that is why you have decided to venture in here into the ruins of Adrias.
Got it.
Burt, didn't you just say that the up on the ship that the entrance is in the fortress, but there's an alternate entrance in the cathedral?
Exactly.
Should we try the fortress first?
I think the fortress seems like the best place to begin. There could be things that would obstruct our path, but I reckon there might also be some cool stuff locked up in that fortress if we need it.
All right, okay. Kind of like all that gold we found in the that facility west of Calta.
Tons of gold, am I right?
So much gold. My goodness.
Rolling in it.
It was Sydney's personal stash. It was like 26 gold and like 59 silver.
It was enough to go out to lunch with colleagues.
Exactly. Dinner's on, Sydney.
I'm still full from that meal.
We're probably pretty rich still from the Dads and Grads episode.
You guys are. You guys are fairly wealthy at this point. Now, hiring this airship did cost some money, but you still have a hefty chunk of change. Artis, you swim down towards where the Haranon Fortress is, with Burt, Ember, and Hop following closely behind, a little distance. But as you approach the Haranon Fortress, you start to look around, and everywhere you look is rubble. It looks like the entire fortress collapsed under its own weight as the earth, as Pavantis shattered. And you can't find a way in.
What kind of idiots would have caused this destruction?
Right, I mean, I don't think honestly, the destruction is on such a scale, I don't think that any one person could possibly be responsible for it.
It's got to be at least 4.
At least 4, yeah. Maybe a 5th one that was kind of like a passive, maybe like a non-player character who was there as well.
Yeah, definitely at least 4, maybe 5 then.
I'm a fan of the theory that there was a band-aid that was out of control.
Oh, right.
Oh, man.
Yeah,
That's the most ridiculous idea I've ever heard.
the gangrenous bandage theory. Yeah, I remember hearing about that. Yeah.
A Band-Aid trying to rule the world.
I read about that somewhere. I think on Facebook.
Everybody knows it was robot bird people that were trying to save the world.
That's right. That's right.
You guys are making this whole campaign sound so ridiculous. Come on. Guys.
Oh,
No, it's great.
Bert, I forgot that you were UAnon.
Oh man. Oh.
So I don't think we can get into the fortress, everybody. I think we're going to have to try the alternate entrance in the cathedral. The whole fortress is basically a pile of rubble. It's so much rubble. It's like the Hamburglar came through here. Rubble.
As you guys are swimming around the fortress and kind of exploring it, I will say you spend about 2 hours or so kind of picking around trying to find something. And it literally is the whole place has just come down.
Could Ember use animate objects on the rubble that has fallen to just like make it walk away?
I mean, yes, but not all of it. I mean, we're talking towers and
Okay.
and walls and stuff. Yeah, animate objects can animate and move some things, but not enough.
I thought he maybe had like found like a doorway that was like crumbled, but you're saying like the whole thing has fallen down.
I'm saying there's a pile of blocks. Yes, it's like somebody came along and just like knocked over your Lincoln logs, basically.
Cool.
And on the church side, is it like that as well?
Well, as you swim over, you can see that it looks like some of the buildings here that are on land are still standing. And I guess what you kind of figure is as Pavantis sank, the fortress was lower down. Maybe it got hit with like a huge wave of water before the rest of the land did. I don't know. I'm not a geologist. I don't know what would happen if the world actually did sink. But it seems like the buildings that are more in the actual city, more up on the hill, they survived a little bit better. And you can see this cathedral. It looks like it has been hit pretty hard. There's holes in the roof and other things. But it does look to be fairly intact.
I was hoping we wouldn't have to go into a church. You know, it reminds me of my wedding day, which is just...
My horrible ex-wife.
It's just, I don't blame her. I mean, I was gone, right? I mean, the divorce was hard.
Hop is tearing up thinking of his beloved. And then he never got the chance to marry her. Actually, he did, but he was so happy to marry her.
Oh, you guys, these tragic backstories that we're laughing about.
It's because we never got to see them happen. I don't even think we know any of the details. I think these are just statements about our characters. Anyway.
Okay, well, moving on, as you guys begin, I'm just saying.
Enough about your trauma.
You guys are swimming around this cathedral, and you do manage to find towards the back, there is this small little room. And as you go in, you imagine this must be the chapel. As you look, you can see there are moss-covered stones that have fallen. And granted, this is all just by the light of Ember that she is exuding from herself, from her light spell. But as you look around, you can see a statue that is still standing. And it looks to be, this cathedral is a cathedral to Iramiel. Smaller than the one in the actual city of Almar, but this is for the Angel of Inevitability, the Angel of Unity himself. And you can see that there's basically one statue still standing and all the rest has fallen and is broken up.
And there's a statue of Iramiel?
Yes, there is. It's been worn down over time, and there is like moss and crud and stuff all over it. But it looks like you can still make out the wings. You can still make out the kind of the humanoid figure.
Artis will straight up like take some of the moss and give him a silly looking mustache, like a barrister style mustache.
I don't like that guy, that's for sure.
Man, could you imagine if someone like really real life had a mustache like that? I thought I saw one once, but it was very dark and probably just a crazy shadow.
I would have to be.
I have a memory. You're unlocking a memory from 5 years ago. I think I met someone who had a mustache like that.
Man, poor guy. But your mustache is like the tits.
Well, I mean, I didn't want to say that they were, but they are definitely the.
All right. Well, here you are in this chapel.
All right, so the symbol was a sword. Do I see a sword anywhere, or like an image of a sword somewhere or something?
No.
You know what's mightier than a sword?
Penis.
That's what I was going to
Is
say.
mightier. Yes.
Check that statue.
KB team, you guys are great. Okay.
Yes, all right, everybody, let's investigate.
Okay.
All
Why don't you guys make some investigation checks?
Oh man, I'm not very good at this. All right, I rolled a 17.
Ember got a 19.
Artis rolled a 16.
Burt got a 10. Hi-oh.
Nice.
Super good.
Okay, so it looks like Ember and Hop, and Artis actually, you guys all got above a 15. As you guys are kind of looking around this room, you can kind of, it looks like the statue is a little bit kind of off kilter, and that's really the only thing that you notice in here. It looks like you might be able to push the statue aside.
Before we do that, can we kind of look around the base of the statue and just make sure there's not any like secret stones that need to be pushed?
Yeah. You, with your investigation of 19, it looks like actually, now that you mention it, it looks like there may have been some kind of a small little mechanism. You kind of see edges of maybe like some calipers or maybe like a hook or something, but it looks like it's broken and mangled from the 5 years it's been now under the sea, as well as the shattering itself.
So, are we going to do some vandalism? Should we push this thing over?
Yeah. Honestly, F the man.
Let's do this.
I'll push right here on his butt. I just, it is so nice. I don't know if this is what he looks like in real life, but
Like, he'd fill a pair of jeans nicely, I think.
yeah. I think a nice pair of apple bottom jeans might look really nice on him.
That is oddly Pacific of you guys to say that, but I'll go with it.
Ember will put one hand on each cheek and push gently.
And Hop will
Okay.
kind of stand above her and push on the shoulders.
Okay, so the two of you. So, why doesn't one of you make an athletics check with advantage?
Ember is a +2.
Oh yeah, I got a +6, so I figured that was probably pretty good. So 24 with advantage.
Okay. As you push and push and push, suddenly Ember and Hop push the statue over and it falls to the ground, hitting the ground, and actually, as it hits the ground, it actually starts to like break and crumble. And underneath, instantly, I need Hop and Ember to make Constitution saves.
Nat 20 for a 21.
Nice. Hop rolled a 13.
Hop with a 13. Suddenly, so Ember, you feel it too, but you managed to kind of like back away. Maybe it's because you were just gently pushing. You were more just groping the statue for fun. But Hop was actually doing all the effort. As the statue falls down, Hop tumbles over this hole, this tunnel that has opened up underneath the statue, and suddenly a shock of energy comes blasting out. Ember, you managed to get away, but Hop, you are instantly shocked and stunned for 1 minute, and we are going to roll initiative.
Oh, heck.
Oh. Rolling the heat. Burt got a 4.
Ember got a 22.
Artis got a 15.
Got 22 and a 15.
And Hop got a 20.
Nice.
Wait, you're the one who decided to play a low dex character. I'm just going to throw that out there.
Shut up, man.
Oh, you guys are great. Give me 1 second.
I just wanted to say, Artis, it's that you is an insider and he has special knowledge about what's gonna happen. You gotta, if the Dark Emperor does arise, it's gonna change into a whole new world order, man. You gotta open your eyes.
I'm telling you, those robot birds, you gotta look out for them.
Yeah, but why are you so fascinated with all the former emperor's scrolls?
Don't be sheeple, man.
Who cares that he had them on a private server?
And with that, Ember, it is your turn at the top of the round with initiative 22. You can go first. As you see coming up out of the hole that just opened up, you see this dark black, almost looks like you would have guessed it was seaweed until it starts to whoosh, lash and whip out towards you guys. Ember, what are you going to do?
Okay, I'm going to attack, but do I have disadvantage to hit?
What are you using?
The whip, her whip is the only weapon. It's slashing.
That's disadvantage. Yeah.
Okay. I guess what I'll do instead is I will use Vicious Mockery. What does this thing look like, did you say?
At first you would have thought it was like seaweed until it starts to like lash out and actually seem to have a mind of its own. It's like reaching towards you guys, but not like slowly. Like it's actually like whipping, like crack, crack. But for some reason, the water down here doesn't slow it down like your whip would be slowed down.
Okay. So Ember's going to use Vicious Mockery on it. So it has to do a DC 18 whiz save. And she'll say, slow down with all that whipping.
DC 18 wisdom save, that would be a 17.
Oh, cool.
So it failed.
Yeah, so it takes 5 damage.
Nice.
5 damage. Nice.
I'm surprised you said stop all that whipping. You didn't make a crack about how much you hated that level on Ninja Turtles with the electric seaweed.
And you said whipping and crack in the same sentence without realizing it. All right, if Ember's staying put, that brings us to Hop. Hop, I need you to make another Constitution save, and the difficulty is 15.
Okay, let's see. I got 18.
18, you managed to shake off the stunned, but your turn is over. Okay, that brings us to Artis.
Right, so really quick to go over the underwater combat rules, right? So like daggers, short swords, spears, tridents, javelins, those all work normally, right?
Yes, and crossbows and any thrown like spear or javelin works normal, or trident works normally as well.
Okay. All right, well, so I'm actually going to pull out then my auto crossbow prototype. I'm not going to move, so I should be able to get 2 normal attacks and then 1 with my bonus action.
Nice.
First attack is a dirty 20 to hit.
That hits.
For 5 damage.
Okay.
Second attack is a 27 to hit.
That hits.
For 6 damage. And then my bonus action, I will use it again. That's only a 14 to hit.
That actually will hit.
For 5 damage. So that's a total of 16 damage.
Wow.
Nice. And you're not going to move, so I guess that's your turn. Action, bonus action, and no movement.
Exactly.
Okay. That brings us now with an initiative of 4 to Burt.
Oh, yeah. So Burt left his lovely He left his lovely gob kebab.
The Bob Kebab.
The Bob kebab. Yeah, so he left the Liberator up on the ship because it just wasn't going to be as effective. And in preparation for this, he procured a trident and a small buckler shield. And so he pulls those off his back and hop, skip, swim, jumps over here to the right of Hop. And he's going to go ahead and make some trident attacks with his trident.
Nice.
So the first one is a 25 to hit.
That will hit. That trident is trident true.
I love it. For 6 damage.
Okay.
And then he'll get his second attack, an 11 to hit.
That will not hit.
Ooh, okay. And then I'm going to use his pole arm master to do a bonus attack as well with the butt end of the trident. 25 to hit.
Because that's a bludgeoning.
Oh, that's right.
We'll have you do it with disadvantage.
Yeah. Oh, and a nat 1 on the disadvantage one, so he'll miss with the butt attack.
Yes. And now I'm not sure if the trident is technically a polearm or not, but I'm going to allow it because it makes it more fun. That's Burt's turn, unless there's something else you wanted to do.
Nope. That's it for now.
It is now time for these weird seaweed tentacle-y things. It's hard to see kind of exactly what it is in the dark with just the light shining off of Ember, but it is going to make 2 attacks, and it can reach Ember, Hop, or Burt. Artis is still a little bit too far away, so the first whip is going to come towards Burt, and the second whip is coming towards Burt. 2 of them are coming towards Burt.
Well,
The first attack is going to be a 26.
Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
And the second attack will only be a 15.
That will not.
Okay, so the first attack, one time per round, this seaweed can do something a little bit special. So here we have 2d6 plus 4. That is 13 damage right off the bat of slashing damage. And then I need you to make a difficulty 15 Constitution saving throw.
Ooh, okay. You got a 16.
Okay, you are going to take half of this damage. That is going to be 21 halved to 10.
Whoa!
As this seaweed or tentacle, whatever it is, as it whips out and strikes you, and you feel this jolt of electricity go through you, but it feels like the connections weren't quite right, and it didn't hit you quite as hard as you feel like it could have. And that is going to be its turn, and back up to Ember.
Ember's going to use Dissonant Whispers, and she's going to... So it needs to make a DC 18 Wiz save again.
That's a 8. That's a fail.
So it will take not a ton of damage, but only 11, but it needs to immediately use its reaction to flee from me.
Okay. As you are watching, suddenly the tentacles suck back down into the hole and are gone. And we are going to leave initiative.
Ha! I did it. He was too scared to even fight me once I stood up.
I'm just glad. Never. I'm not going to say it.
All right.
Let's just say that you've had some clients with some fantasies. Am I right?
I've had lots of clients with various fantasies, and yes, this could have gone very weird very quickly.
All right.
Oh, man.
Well, the only problem is now is we're following it. Who's going first?
Well, I'll do it. Bring it on.
How big's the hole?
It's big enough for you guys to go in one at a time. It's like 4 feet wide.
I'm getting super claustrophobic thinking about being underwater going into like a cave.
Yeah. Yeah.
I see those videos of the underwater spelunkers going through those caves, and it's like if they get like their tank gets stuck on something and like a tube gets broken or something, they're dead. But luckily, we can breathe underwater.
Okay, so Burt's going first. Who's going second?
Artis will follow.
I'm gonna follow Ember. After you, my lady.
All right, I'll go third.
All right. As you start to descend into this shaft, you can see the remnants of a beat-up, weathered, rotting wooden ladder that descends, and you swim down probably about 10 feet. Burt, you can see from the light behind you, but a lot of that is blocked because of your body blocking the light. And suddenly you kind of drop down into this room. It's about 25 feet by 25 feet. You can tell as Ember then plops out after Artis. And it is covered in grass and seaweed and plants. You can see in one corner there's like a broken desk. You can see a broken chair. You can see that off to the west, there's a door, and to the north, there is a hallway. And as you look to the hallway to the north, you can see that it looks like that hallway has collapsed in on itself. It is rubble and, not rubble, it is debris and fallen in stones. But you are in this relatively small room, and it looks like there is 2 ways to go, back up and out, or the door to the west.
Well, I reckon we keep on heading west, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all I see. I mean, except for like retreating like some kind of wuss.
Never. I ain't never gonna treat.
I would never.
One thing I forgot to describe. Wait. One thing I forgot to describe. As you guys actually entered this room, I forgot. Burt, you can see a little bit. You can see on the walls are lanterns, and you can see that they are powered by crystals. You can see one of them is still giving this faint bluish green kind of glow. The other one on the wall that you see has gone out, but there is a dim light down here by these lanterns that are still emitting some very light glow.
Remind me to get those crystals on the way out of here. They're probably worth some money.
Yeah, they probably are worth some money. Interesting. I wonder how these things stayed. I guess they weren't attached to the world itself, so I just would have thought they would have needed maintenance.
It's that Band-Aid theory.
Telling you, robot birds.
As you begin moving down the hallway, Burt leading the way, Artis following second, you can see about 30 feet down there is a branch that goes north and south, and then you can keep going to the west.
Hop is trailing along behind Ember, just kind of a little bit peeking over her shoulder.
Bert's gonna come to that junction, and he's gonna pause for a moment. Does he see anything to the north or to the south?
You can't see, from where you're at right now, you can't see very well, but as Ember gets a little bit closer, it looks like the hallway to the south ends relatively abruptly, with more debris and rocks and stones. The hallway to the north, it looks like it extends a little bit further, maybe 20 feet, before it too ends with a fallen-in roof. It looks like the hallway to the west continues on unimpeded.
Hey, Paul, you can start saying rubble again. I promise not to do more Hamburglar jokes.
I'm worried that I'm going to start saying rubble, instead of just saying rubble one time. All right. Very good. And I can now see what you guys can see, and it's not very much.
Nope.
Okay.
Well, should we keep pressing forward to the west then? What do you think, Artis?
If you move a little bit forward, I could take a better peek down this hallway to the north.
Yeah, go for it.
Do we see any symbols maybe on the wall that could kind of indicate which direction we go, like that sword that we were looking for?
Actually, so as you're swimming down this hallway, you can, if you're specifically looking for that kind of stuff, Hop, you kind of brush aside some of the seaweed and some of the kelp and the mossy growth that has developed here over the last 5 years, and you can find some plaques and things, and the plaques have numbers on them, 305, and then the next one says 302, and it almost looks like these are labeled for different rooms or different areas of the building, but you don't see any specific symbols, no symbol of a sword or anything like that. But yeah, as you, Artis, you look, you can see that yes, the north hallway doesn't go very far before it too comes to an abrupt end.
It looks like it's about 20 feet long. Yeah, we should probably just keep heading west.
You are in this kind of narrow hallway underwater, unable to see very far. But you can see kind of in the distance to the west, you might be able to see just the faintest glimmer of light from, it looks like some more of these kind of this bluish, light blue crystal lights that might still be glowing down here in the dark, in the deep.
I love crystal light. It's so refreshing on a hot summer day.
Oh my gosh.
I think it would be a bit diluted down here, don't you?
Oh my gosh, you guys are hilarious.
Honestly, I always add a little bit more water. It's just, it can be...
It's so strong without it.
Exactly.
So you think one ocean's worth to one packet?
You says that when you see somebody drinking Crystal Light, they're probably in on the whole secret New World Order thing. So, personally, I don't drink the stuff.
I heard that the Crystal Light was lowering your testosterone and turning you to a beta or something.
Oh my gosh.
That too.
Yeah, this Halloween
I can emasculate you if you'd like me to.
This Halloween episode is becoming spooky, but not for the reasons that I kind of was thinking it would. All right. As you guys continue to move west down this hallway, Burt, the light kind of grows a little bit brighter. Not brighter, but it kind of starts to illuminate a little more. You can see a little further. And as you move into this room, you can see what looks like contraptions of some kind. Well, why don't you guys make perception or investigation checks as you enter this much larger room? It's probably 35 feet across, but much taller, north to south. It's probably a good 80 feet.
Artis rolled a natural 1 for a 5, so he's actually paying more attention to a broken table or something.
I think he's thinking we used to have a table like this back before the divorce.
He's actually thinking, oh man, ever since I started drinking all that Crystal Light, I can't maintain an erection.
Poor guy. So Burt rolled a 21 perception.
Okay.
Ember got a 28.
Hop rolled a 13.
Ember and Burt, as you guys are kind of looking around, Burt, you find some of these contraptions. You see, like there's this large case. It looks like probably big enough for somebody to kind of squeeze in potentially. But it looks like it's got like a glass, almost like a glass tube with like some metal copper like top on it, and then it's kind of connected to the ground with wires and piping and stuff. It looks kind of steampunky, like glass tube enclosure, and you see that it is cracked, and that the lid on top is open. Ember, as you are looking around, you see the same thing. You also see some other equipment, and the things that you notice, Ember, with your 28, you notice that the lid itself is not just open. It looks like something busted it open. Not necessarily like a hammer or something like that, but maybe during the shattering, something shifted loose and then that top opened up. And you also, Ember, with your 28, these machines, even though they're covered in moss and lichen, that kind of stuff, or whatever stuff grows under, I don't know, anemones, sure.
Some kind of coral reef.
Yes. That sea life has started to take over this area. You can tell that this machine is not ancient. This is not ancient tech. And we'll just say with your 28 perception, this looks like a modern reproduction of something that was ancient. Maybe it was an imperial attempt to recreate some ancient tech.
Does you have anything to say about repurposing old technology?
I don't know, probably. He seems to be the prophet of truth these days. I listen to him about everything, so.
How does he communicate? Does he do a sending across the globe to all his listeners?
Only to those who are truly paying attention, you know.
Keyword pain.
Hey guys, there's a broken table over here, I think. It looks like it was some kind of a wood table that broke during the shattering, I imagine. I'm being helpful.
Just like your divorce? I'm sorry.
All right. So what we are going to do is, Artis, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw. Difficulty 15.
I'm good at those. I got a nat 1 again for a 9.
Okay. Instantly, Artis, whoosh, the lichen and kind of the seaweed underneath this table lashes out and strikes at you, dealing...
It's the tentacles again!
Dealing 14 damage.
Oh no, I gotta cover my orifices.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Hey.
Oh my goodness. Okay,
Listen,
Artis, you take 14 slashing. Oh my god.
I'm sorry, Paul.
No, you guys, I'm glad that we are having a good time, because that's what this one's all about. Okay, so slashing damage, 14 slashing damage. Make a Constitution save, difficulty 14 or 15.
I'm usually pretty good at these two, but I said that last time and I rolled a nat 1. Okay, 17.
Okay, you're going to take half of this electrical damage. That is going to be a total of 27 halved to 13.
That is too much damage.
Lightning
Holy
damage.
cow, yeah.
And we are back into initiative. Let's roll it again.
It's redemption time, Burt.
Yeah, and I rolled a 1 for an initiative of 2. And totally redeemed myself.
Ember got a 20.
Nat 20!
Artis got an 11.
Griffrark Kruna, can you guys see that name on there?
What?
Huh?
Did you just tell us what the monster is you used as a
No,
template?
it's a random name that came up when I created the character on Roll20.
Oh,
And I
for like
changed
the
the
token.
name, but for
That's
some
funny.
reason, this token is still named that stupid random name. It's Griffrark. Hey, sorry to anybody out there who's listening if your name is Griffrark or if your last name is Kruna, but Griffrark Kruna is
We're going to
the name
get
of this
hate mail
tentacle.
from this.
It's a terrible name.
From Griffrark.
Yeah, sorry, Griffrark.
From the one Griffrark on the whole planet.
Okay.
How dare you? We noble Griffrarks are
My
greatly-
mother was a Griffrark.
Hop, it is your turn. Hop, Ember, and Burt are kind of looking at this tube that they were examining. Artis is down in the south edge of the room, looking at this destroyed table as these tentacles came and whipped out at him. So everyone is about 15 or 20 feet away from Artis. And it is Hop's turn.
So Hop is going to try to swim just a little bit past Burt here. And I think that's as much movement as he can do, so he can't quite get to the tentacles, but he is going to shoot a bolt of some chaotic energy at these tentacles for a 14 to hit.
14 will hit, yes.
Sweet. Okay.
Where did you learn that? Have we seen you do this before?
It's impressive. And so for 13 psychic damage.
13 psychic damage. Nice. And that now brings us to Ember.
Ember will swim towards the west side of the room, and she's going to do some vicious mockery. She's going to say, "Your whipping technique needs quite a bit of work," and needs to make a DC 18 whiz save.
But your tentacle work is fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay, that is a 5, so that's some damage then.
Yeah, so 7 damage then.
That brings us now to the tentacle's turn. The tentacle is going to actually move around Artis. It's it's not so much. Artis, you're the only one who can kind of see this because you're close to it. The tentacle doesn't so much like move around you, almost like the grass around you, the seaweed and stuff off the floor. It's like you can see almost like one grass blade will kind of come up a little bit and move, and then the next one and the next one. So it's like the entity in the grass moves, and it's using new seaweed to whip out at you. And it's actually going to take an attack, 2 attacks, one at Hop and one at Artis. So Hop, the attack coming at you is going to be a 16. Does that hit you?
A 16 will not hit me.
And Artis, does a 20 hit you?
Yeah, 20 hits.
Okay, that's going to be 15 slashing damage, and once per turn, it can do electricity damage. So it is going to do some more electricity damage, unless you can make a con save.
I rolled a 4.
A 4.
I may be unconscious, guys.
That is 22 lightning damage.
Am I stunned?
No, you are not stunned. This attack does not stun you.
Okay.
The only thing that stunned was when that statue was moved. Artis looks like he has taken quite the beating from these tentacles. And these tentacles look like they are maybe bloodied, potentially. Artis, it's your turn.
Okay, I'm going to draw my Dagger of Pity, which has been awoken. So it does additional damage now. First attack is a 23 to hit.
That will hit, yeah.
So that is 7 piercing, 5 necrotic.
Oh, that's 12 damage.
Second attack is a 25 to hit.
That will hit.
11 piercing, 1 necrotic.
Okay.
And then I'm going to use a 1 point of adrenaline to do the old 1-2 and start with a jab. Actually, that'll be rolled with disadvantage, though, because of underwater, and it's a bludgeoning attack. So that's a 17 to hit with disadvantage.
That will hit.
For 9 bludgeoning damage.
Wow.
And then I'll follow that up with a cross for, it's either, it was a nat 20 and a nat 1. So the nat 1.
Brutal.
Your rolls are all over the place.
But that what's cool, though, is that I have an ability called Stick and Move. So when I use the old 1-2, I get the benefit of a disengage action, and my walking speed has increased by 10 feet. So I actually get 5 more feet of movement under the water, which puts me at 50, so I can move 25 feet away to the other side of the room without drawing an attack of opportunity.
Oh, fantastic.
That's awesome.
Well, then make your move further to the north, running away, past Ember. Ember, save me! Save me, Ember.
And I'll draw my crossbow, getting ready to attack for the next round.
Fantastic. Well, Artis, you did a ton of damage that round, and these tentacles are like breaking and loose and kind of scraggly looking now at this point. It is now Burt's turn.
Very cool. Well, with Artis having kind of gotten in there, done some damage, and then disengaged, Burt's going to take that as a sign to jump in and engage. So he will go ahead and move in and make some trident attacks. 17 to hit for the first attack.
That'll hit.
8 damage. Second attack, critical.
Oh,
Please be a decent roll.
finish him.
That was not a decent roll. So doubling my dice roll, we'd be at 8 damage.
So your crit did the same as your normal attack.
It sure did.
And can I just say that I'm seeing the word trident here, and I'm just now realizing as a 41-year-old man that the gum trident is the word trident. I always thought of it as like 3 teeth, like trident.
Oh my god, what?
Like Freedent. They had Freedent. They had like yeah.
my gosh. Matt.
That's awesome.
Oh man, that's...
Oh, Matt. Oh.
Nice.
Okay, Burt, is that your whole turn? Because these weeds are looking quite haggard.
I'm gonna do my bonus pole arm master thing if that's still okay with you.
That is 100% fine. Yeah, go for it. With disadvantage though,
Okay.
because it's a blunt strike.
16,
That will hit.
5 bludgeoning damage.
What does that look like as you hit the seaweed?
Man, you guys are really letting me do all the work here today.
You know what? I am actually going to tell you what happens. You
Okay.
strike out with the butt of that trident, expecting it to be grass, and you hear a crack that kind of reverberates through the water, and it sounds a little bit off, maybe because you're underwater, but it sounded like the cracking of a bone.
Ooh. Well, that's weird.
And the seaweed/tentacle things stop moving. And we're going to cue victory music.
Nice.
I crushed it. Well, Hop will go over up to Artis and lay some hands upon him.
Okay.
Oh,
perfect.
yeah.
And give him a little bit of a shoulder rub and revive like 25 HP on him.
Oh, thank you so much, Hop. That grass kicked my ass.
It does that, brother. Sometimes you need a spirit guide with you.
Let me pull this one out of your pants. I don't know what it was doing there, but
That's not a weed.
oh, sorry.
Okay, so Ember, as you grab this weed and start messing around, I know it was a joke, but it doesn't feel like grass. I mean, it feels like the outside texture is grass, but it has more the texture as you kind of squeeze it as like flesh, like
It's a
an
sea
arm.
cucumber. We've been attacked by sea cucumbers. It's shocking.
Guys, this thing feels very strange.
It feels like it's not completely plant and not completely animal or creature.
Do you think that's whatever was in this container here?
It could be.
Maybe.
It seems like this weapon could have been something that escaped.
Huh. I think let's keep pressing forward, but let's not plan to stick around here for much longer.
Right, this is like a door to the north, right? That's the only other way I see out of this room.
As you guys are looking around this room, you can see that the room, it's longer north to south. You can see that there's other like debris. There's some desks in here. There's some chairs and things, but there is a doorway that leads off to the north. And as you guys approach that doorway, you can see that there is a hallway that extends further to the north, just about 25 feet or so before you can start to see a little bit of light on the other side. And Burt, as you are leading the way, I want you to make a perception check.
Sure. Come on, Bert. Be perceptive. And I got a nat 1 for a 6.
Okay.
So, no.
Yeah, not a problem.
You want me to make a roll a perception check? No, I don't want to.
I just want to remind you, Paul, though, that I am right behind him and my passive perception is 19.
Okay. As Burt steps into the hallway, immediately, Artis, you follow, and once you step into the hallway, you feel the slight buzz of, I mean, I don't know what it feels like for there to be electricity underwater, but you can feel like this buzz in the water around you. It seems to you, with your passive perception, Artis, that up ahead, the hallway extends about 25 feet, and then it opens up into a room. It seems like that room might be a little bit lighter than the other rooms that you've gone through. the crystals and things on the walls down here are pretty dim, and the light that you can see coming down the hallway a little ways actually looks a bit brighter. So something is definitely different about this room coming up at the end of the hallway.
This water feels like it could be dangerous. I think you said something about this. It's probably fluoridated.
Oh my gosh.
You've been paying attention, and I'm proud of you for that.
You talk in your sleep.
Well, I think Burt's going to keep very cautiously moving forward.
All right. And so Burt and Artis are moving up the hallway. As Burt, as you get to the end of the hallway, you kind of look inside, and literally right next to the door, you can see that this room that you're kind of going into, it stretches just a little ways further east, but then it stretches back to the west quite a ways. But right here by the door, you see something odd. You see a small, like 3 feet tall and maybe like a 1.5 foot diameter little pylon right next to the door, and then you see that coming off that pylon, there is an arc of electricity that heads north to another pylon, and then it also heads west towards another pylon, and it heads at a diagonal to the northwest towards like the central spike. And as you come into this room and you see what's going on, it looks like you are standing next to the southeast corner of like these 4 pylons with one pylon in the middle, and they are all arcing electricity back and forth, and it completely blocks this room from going further to the east.
Well, that doesn't seem very safe.
Nope. Should we try and break it? Do you think we could get through?
I mean, I could take some shots at it, but I only have a limited number of crossbow bolts.
Crossbow bolts.
I could throw another bolt of chaos energy at it and see if that does anything.
Yeah, I mean, should we aim for like the so you said there's how many pylons, Paul?
There's 4 pylons around, and then there's a taller pylon in the middle. So it looks like the pylons are about 25 feet apart from each other in any direction, and so it's like this big square space. It's just like arcing electricity back and forth. And now as you get closer, you can feel it on your skin. You feel like if you were to take one step into that, it would zap you real good.
Is there, I mean, I see over here there's like a little building. Is that anything, or is that just run down?
It looks like there's some kind of like tech or some kind of metal piece of equipment that is kind of fallen over or something. It's kind of starting to get covered up with the moss and stuff. It doesn't look like it's part of this contraption, though.
Well, then I think we aim for the centerpiece, right?
I mean, I'm wondering just because it's also the biggest, so it might also be the hardest to break. We might try breaking off one of these smaller ones.
Yeah, it can't hurt to give it a try, right?
I mean, I'll take 2 shots. One at the middle, and one at the one closest to us to see which one like is looks more fragile.
Okay, I want your roll to hit.
First attack is a 13 for the middle one.
That will hit.
That does 11 damage.
Okay.
The second one is toward the southeast corner one, and that's a 23 to hit for 6 damage.
Okay. So as you aim towards the center pylon, you can hear the bolt hit, and it sounds different when it hits the center pylon. It's hard to see because of the kind of electricity is kind of like lighting up the area. There's kind of blue sparks and things that are kind of flying around in the air. But when you hit the pylon closest to you, it sounds like a bolt hitting metal, and you feel like with the 6 damage that you did, quote unquote, you probably didn't even put a scratch on that pylon, this kind of southeast pylon. The center pylon sounded a little different. And with your passive perception, we'll say that you just kind of pick up on the idea that you actually probably hit crystal or glass of some kind with your bolt.
Or I think the center one is the more fragile one. It might be crystal or glass. Probably crystal, given that we live in Pavantis and crystals are kind of everywhere. It's kind of our thing.
That makes sense. A Hop will then go ahead and do a Chaos Bolt at the center object.
Okay.
For 22 damage. 22 to hit, sorry.
I'm like, wow, that's a powerful bolt.
Yeah, and then I'll do cold damage of 12.
12 cold damage. All right. So now total the center has had, 23. That's 11 and 12. Passive perceptions. What's everybody's passive perception?
19.
12.
Ember's is 20.
Wait, really?
Yeah, just with all the bard stuff, and then I gave her a luck stone on this new level.
Geez. Okay.
Nice.
Bert, what's yours?
15.
15. Okay. Artis and Ember, as you are starting to attack that central pylon thing, you feel these like flashes as you're attacking it, as you're dealing damage to the structural integrity of it. And I would say with your passive perception, Ember and Artis, you get the feeling that maybe bringing that down could be bad. Like if you brought it down, you think that it could turn off the electricity, that's for sure. But you feel like it also might send out a big shockwave of energy that might not feel so great as well. That makes sense?
Oh yeah.
You might explode it.
Yeah. It might explode.
With your passive perceptions, also, you would notice, especially as Artis, as you shot that metal pylon down in the southeast corner, that when it hit, the pylon kind of rocked, and you get you're pretty sure that the pylon's not actually attached to the ground, that it might be movable.
Oh, hey, what if we left the center one intact and we like found something to kind of scoot it along and clear a path here along the south edge? Like if we scooted it more toward the middle.
It's worth a shot.
We'd have to do it without having it shock us, but sounds good to me.
I'm not very good with like science. So I don't know what wouldn't shock us. I mean,
Ember, do you have some rubber?
I was thinking.
Well, I do typically have leather, and I have this whip. I can try and.
Can you whip it into shape?
Wait, you don't have a full-on patent leather rubber like gimp suit?
No, it's not on me. We're diving right now.
This is why you can't never be too prepared.
Okay, so somebody is going to attempt to move that pylon. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Not Artis. He's still too weak.
Yeah, I think Ember should try to whip it.
Okay, Ember. What I need from you is two things. One,
Oh, no.
I need a Constitution save, 15. What'd you get?
I got an 18.
And then you can move the pylon up to, I guess, a quarter of your walking speed. Half of your swimming speed, a quarter of your walking speed.
So like 5 feet.
Yeah, 5 feet. That is enough, though, to make a pathway to the south of it, at least moving one pylon, but there's still a second pylon in your way. And you are going to take some damage.
Oh no.
You made the Constitution save, so that is going to be a total of 29 halved to 14 lightning damage.
Okay. Ouch. But okay.
And it looks like if you were to move the southwestern pylon as well, then you would have a clear path to get through.
So Ember swims back a little bit after having moved it. She's like twitching from the electricity. Her hair's kind of like going crazy. I think it's someone else's turn for the next one.
That seemed to work well, though. And Hop will lay his hand on her shoulder and give her another 10 HP back.
Thank you.
While this is going on, Artis did his catch your breath skill and was able to burn some adrenaline to get 9 hit points back.
Nice.
I think similarly, Burt's doing he's also kind of taking a moment to also kind of get a second wind and heal up a little bit just to make sure he's okay for what's to come. Gets 15 hit points back.
Nice. That's great, because there's still one pylon to move.
All right.
Or you guys can keep attacking the central pylon if you want to. That's fine, too.
Hop hasn't taken any damage this turn, so he'll walk up to that second pylon, and he will just try to move, like, kind of kick it.
Be careful, and you'll get Bardic Inspiration.
Oh, nice. So Constitution save, difficulty 15.
Come on. Yikes. Okay, 23.
That will save, and that will deal a total of 26 halved to 13 lightning damage, and but now the electricity is still arcing between the pylons, but you have managed to move the two southern pylons enough that you can now squeeze past along the south and continue your descent into this facility in Adrias. I imagine you all scoot along the southern edge of this room. And as you do, you actually get to a point where you're swimming past like debris and rubble, and you're swimming past all of this kind of this flowing grass and seaweed. And now as you're looking at it, you can see that it does look a little different than maybe you would expect to see. It's not quite so green. Like when it looks dark and black, it very well may actually be black, but it still moves like grass blowing in the wind or in the water. And as you kind of move through this room and into the next, you see there is a very large door that is shut. It is a large kind of vault door. You can see there's desks and chairs again that are like smashed and overtaken by growth, but you imagine this door, this big heavy door, very well may lead to the treasure that you are looking for.
Who's opening it?
Not me. Zoinks.
Burt will try.
I mean, honestly, I've always wanted to turn one of those big captain's wheels and open a big bank vault door, though.
Well, who am I to stand in the way of a dream, you know?
Hey, look, everybody, I'm a fancy banker.
It actually, I mean, you have to break it just a little bit to kind of get it to move. But as you start to get the wheel to move, you realize as you turn the wheel, you're actually locking it. It was already unlocked. And you're able to just kind of push on the door, and it actually opens relatively easily.
Well, it turns out I'm a crap banker.
As the door swings open, you can see beyond it is another hall. You can see a crystal light kind of halfway down this hall, maybe about 40 feet down the way. And there is a doorway next to that crystal light that heads off into the north. And past that crystal light fixture, there is... sorry, I'm saying... I gotta stop saying just crystal light. There is a pile of debris and rubble that blocks the rest of the way through this hall.
Hey, Paul, you know how I told you I wouldn't do any more Hamburger jokes?
You lied?
No, I got a better one. Let's get ready to rumble!
Oh.
It's a better one.
Oh, God.
Ouch. That hurts my heart.
As you guys enter this hallway, you can see that it looks like the only way to continue is to go through the doorway that's about maybe 30 or 40 feet down the hallway to the north.
All right, I'm going to stay back. I've got my crossbow ready so I can cover you, but I'll be back here by Ember.
All right, I'll keep moving forward then.
I'll go with ya.
I'm watching these tokens slowly move.
Oh, zoinks. Oh, God.
Okay, Burt, as you lead the way and you get to this doorway, you see it's actually a wider doorway. It's like an arch. It's a big open archway that opens up into this large room. It's probably like 100 feet by 100 feet. There's like this grass growing around the edges. There's also more of these light fixtures that are crystal all around the room. And in the center of the room, on this dais, on this kind of like this platform, you can see a similar construction to the thing that you saw before, that kind of glass tube on the metal platform with the lid on it and everything, and the tubes and pipes and things. But this one is bigger. And this one actually is surrounded by 6 of those pylons that you saw earlier. And there's electricity blasting around the pylons and towards the center of this contraption, and it is just full of this arcing blue electricity. So for game terms, in the center of the room, there is like a 1, 2, 3, 4, there's like a 40-foot circle of electricity that would be probably pretty painful to go into. But that is what you guys see in this room.
Well, we've already taken out one of these tonight. This should be easy.
This one's a little different because the center is not just one of those pylons. The center is actually one of these contraptions. And as you guys approach, Ember, the first thing that you notice with your 20 passive perception is that this glass tube contraption thing seems older. It seems more like an original, not maybe an imperial reproduction. But also with your 20 perception, as you look into this room, you see more flowing, waving, greenish black grass all around the room. And Ember and Artis, as you look up towards the ceiling of this room, you see descending down above the arcing electricity, you see this strangely humanoid figure. It is black. It is made up
Slender
of...
Man.
it is made up of these tentacles of grass and algae and maybe something else. But its head is actually attached to the ceiling, and you can see more of this grass covering the ceiling of this room. And this creature looks at you with glowing eyes, and we are going to roll initiative.
All right, Burt got an 18 this time.
Ember got a 9.
Hop got a 16.
Artis got a 14.
You guys should be happy. I am getting terrible rolls this session.
Terrible initiative rolls, but not terrible damage rolls.
I will disagree with you on that. I could be doing more damage. All right. Burt, it is your turn. You see this creature kind of descending, hanging over this contraption. We'll say it actually has moved a little bit further south towards you. So part of it, I mean, this is massive. This creature is massive. It's probably like, I would say like 20 feet long as it hangs from the ceiling. In fact, it could probably touch the ground from its head attached to the ceiling with its feet. And it is kind of approaching you in this weird alien way of movement. But Burt, it's your turn first.
Okay, well, I'll move forward the 15 feet that I can move, and Burt is going to say, "Strong are the men of the Glass Mountains," and he's going to use his fighting spirit to give himself 10 temp HP. He will have advantage on his attack rolls. Well, I guess that would be until the end of his current turn, but yeah, whatever. I'll keep the temp HP, and since I'm too far away to make any kind of an attack on this guy, I'm going to take the dodge action.
All right, at the end of your turn, this creature, this tentacled terror, is going to make a legendary action, and this tentacle, this grass with a claw tip, comes whipping out at you, Burt, and it is going to try to hit you with a 25 to hit.
And that'll have disadvantage because of the dodge.
Oh, yes. With a... Oh, there you go. With a 13 to hit.
That'll miss.
Okay. One legendary action burned. Now it is Hop's turn.
All right, Hop is going to swim forward up here, and he is going to use his blinding smite at the 3rd level, 10 damage, and then he's going to use his, well, I guess if I hit, he's going to use his glaive for 10 to hit.
10 does not hit, but actually it's going to be with disadvantage.
Okay, well, then I'll swing again for my second attack. Oh my god, and that was a 9. So
that is also going to miss.
Oh my goodness. All right, well, there you are.
The good news is your smite is still in play until you actually hit.
If I hit.
If you hit. Or you might get hit back. All right. Second legendary action. A tentacle comes whipping at you, Hop, for... that is going to be a 24.
That'll hit.
And that is going to deal 16 slashing damage.
I am going to use my interceptor fighting style and kind of dip in front of that to block part of that with my shield.
Okay.
Oh, thanks, man.
And it blocks 9 of that damage.
Feeling so much better.
Oh, wow. Awesome. Very cool. Okay. Artis, it's your turn with your AC of, with your initiative of 14.
All right, I'm going to stay right where I'm at, and I'm going to take some attacks with the auto crossbow prototype.
Okay.
First one is a dirty 20 to hit
That will hit.
for 5 damage. Second one is an 11 to hit,
That will miss.
and the third one is a 17 to hit
That will hit.
for 8 damage. That's where I'll stand.
Okay. Very good. Ember, it's your turn.
Oh wait, one thing. Sorry, one thing. I do have the ability Your Mind, so I'm actually going to mark this guy as my an enemy I'm concentrating on. I get to deal an extra D4 once per round when I hit. So that's another 1 damage.
Nice. Nice. Very good. All right.
So Ember is going to stay out in the hallway with Artis, and she's going to cast Dissonant Whispers, but this time at 5th level. So DC 18 Whiz save.
And that is a natural 19.
Dang it. So I think he takes half.
Yep.
Half of 7d6. So I rolled 18, so 9 damage.
Okay. Burt and Hop, make perception checks as you see this creature as it's kind of standing. It's still in, part of its body is still in this arc of electricity, but part of it is out.
Burt got a 16 on his perception.
I rolled a 21 on my perception.
Okay. You both notice that you've seen like arrows and things come hit this guy, this creature, and you see at the beginning of his turn, as it stands being bathed in this electricity, you can see some of those wounds start to close. And it is now its turn. Here we go, guys. Don't hate me, because this could be bad. The creature moves south just a little bit closer to Burt and Hop and actually leaves the electricity field, and it is going to use its Whirlwind of Tentacles attack. And I need Hop and Burt to make dexterity saving throws, difficulty 19.
Hi.
Whoa.
Come on. Oh my goodness. Hop got an 8.
I'm super not going to do well on this. 16.
Yeah, this is not going to go well.
Stop sounding so joyful, Paul.
Oh, that is...
There's a lot of ones.
There's a lot of ones. 8d10 slashing damage for only 26 damage, but you guys take full damage. And now we are back up to the top of the round. Burt, it is your turn, and this thing's legendary actions have reset.
Okie dokie. I am once again going to say, strong are the men of the glass mountains, and use my fighting spirit again to give myself, again, 10 temporary HP. And that gives myself advantage on my weapon attacks. So we're going to go ahead and make 2 attacks with the trident.
Okay.
The first one is... Wow, 2 12s.
That will miss.
Sweet. Super glad that happened. Okay, and again, a 27 to hit.
That'll hit.
7 damage.
Okay.
And that is all I can... Actually, since I hit with that one, I'm going to burn a superiority die to do a goading attack on this thing. It needs to make a DC 16 wisdom save. And I do an extra 1 damage. Wow, awesome rolls. But if it doesn't make its DC 16 save, then it will have disadvantage on all attack rolls against other targets other than myself until the end of my next turn.
Okay, well, congratulations, Burt, because it failed. Here comes a legendary action right at you. You're making it easy for me to choose who to attack. Oh my gosh. Natural 1 to hit you with another one of these striking tentacles.
Oh, wham, Paul.
Yeah.
We've been rolling a lot of ones this game.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. All right, Hop, it's your turn. You're up.
Okay, we're going to see if I can hit this time. So I'm going to roll a 25 to hit.
Yes, that'll hit.
Okay, sweet. And so then that is going to do 11 plus my smite damage. So that'll be 21.
Okay.
And then I think, because that's a bonus action, can I cast that again before I do my next attack?
I don't see any reason why you couldn't, because you can split up your attacks.
Doesn't he need to see if he's blinded?
Yeah, DC's 15, something like that.
Oh yeah, he does have to do a con save of 15.
That's a natural 17 for a con save of 22.
Okay. Well, I'm going to roll this again, and hopefully my second attack will hit, and I'll get an extra 7 damage. Woo! Oh my gosh, with 3d8s.
Oh, you were robbed.
So that's a 15 to hit.
That will barely hit.
Oh, heck yeah. Okay, so that's going to do 14 damage.
And another constitution save?
Yep, 15.
That's a natural 16.
Heck.
Nice damage, though. All right. Artis, you're up.
Okay, so for Artis' turn, he's going to stay exactly where he's at and take 3 more shots with the auto crossbow. Prototype. I'm almost out of bolts, though. First one's a 13. I'm actually going to use a point of adrenaline to increase it by 2, so it's a 15 to hit.
That will hit.
Okay.
Yeah, boy.
Barely, but it'll hit.
5 damage.
Okay.
And then I'm going to take my second shot. That's an 18 to hit for 9 damage. And a 27. It's a natural 19 to hit for 10 damage.
Okay.
And that is my entire turn.
Okay, very good. Legendary action coming towards Burt again. A D20, that's going to be a 25 to hit.
Yeah, that'll super hit.
It's going to be 15 more damage.
Fair enough.
Is Burt still standing?
Oh yeah, he keeps getting the 10 temporary hit points, which has actually helped quite a bit.
That's true. One thing I forgot, Paul, 4 additional damage because I've marked this as you're mine.
Oh, got it. And Ember, it's your turn.
So Ember is going to use Dissonant Whispers again. She's going to swim forward a little bit to be right behind Hop, and she'll use Dissonant Whispers on the creature.
And that's a wisdom save, correct?
Yeah, Wisdom save DC 18.
Okay, failure.
Okay, so 20 damage, and it has to move its full speed away from me as far as it can.
Okay, its speed is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. It moves towards the north end of the room, kind of back up over the contraption and back into the field of electricity right before his turn starts.
Oh no!
Oh, okay. Yep, that happened.
It's not looking good, guys.
Yes, you do see more wounds close as this creature heals at the beginning of his turn. And we are going to also roll a d6 to see if Whirlwind of Tentacles comes back. No, that's a 4. Okay,
Oh, thank goodness.
this creature now is going to... It can move back now, right? It's not afraid of you or anything?
Yeah, I believe it's just a one-time thing.
Okay, it's going to move right back to where it was and come right back at Burt with 2 attacks. The first one is going to be a 24. The second one is going to be a critical hit.
Oh, ho, ho.
I'm going to use Silvery Barbs on the critical hit.
Okay,
It has to re-roll that and take the lower result.
that's still a 21. There's a 21 hit.
Yeah, 21 will still hit, but at least it's not critical.
Okay, so it's 2 regular hits.
Yeah. And Burt will get advantage on his next attack.
Oh,
We have a total of 33 damage to Burt.
all right. I mean, I'm still up, but I've taken some pounding right now.
And I believe that is all this creature can do at this point, but legendary actions have reset. Now, is he still coming out? Oh yeah, I guess it's Burt's turn next. So Burt, does your goading attack, does that only last 1 round?
Yeah, it's just until my next turn.
Okay, well it is your next turn, so what are you doing?
I guess the end of my next turn. I will start it off by using my fighting spirit one more time for the strength of the men of the Glass Mountains. Give himself, this is his last time of doing it, give himself those 10 temp HP, and it gives him advantage on his attacks. We're going to go ahead and attack and action surge this round, so we're just going to try to get it all in there. 27 to hit
Yep.
for 9 damage.
Okay.
Next attack is also a 27 to hit
Yep.
for 8 damage. Action surge, critical
Nice.
Okay. Why not?
Crushing it.
for 14 damage, it looks like. And one more 21 to hit
Yep.
for 10 piercing.
Dang. You dealt some serious damage this round.
Ooh.
That was impressive. Okay, but this thing is still standing.
Okay, well, and that is it, folks.
And swinging right back at you with a 19. Does that hit?
That will hit.
A total of 16 damage.
That's okay. I can
with the temp HP, I'm still standing.
All right.
I'm shaky. I'm bleeding profusely, but there's a cloud of blood in the water around Burt.
Oh no, the sharks!
Or the jets. Oh! All right, Hop,
Nice
it's your turn.
snaps. Those were some good snaps, Paul.
That was not me, but those were some good crisp snaps, I must agree.
Oh, that was me.
All right, Hop is going to once again get some smite on. Oh my gosh, for an 11 to hit, and then a 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
So it'll be 12 plus the 5, so 17 damage for this guy.
And then with that smite, he had to make a save, correct?
Yes, 15.
Okay, that was a 6. So then this creature is blinded.
Oh no, that's only for level 3. This is a level 2 spell.
Oh, so not blinded. Okay, very
Yeah, no.
cool. Okay, good for me.
Oh, okay. This is the one that would keep it from going invisible.
Yeah, exactly.
And fire damage would be halved anyway because of resistance
Right.
underwater. Yeah.
No, I got rid of all my fire damage stuff.
Artis, it's your turn.
Really quick, I am checking my inventory.
Checking your number of bolts.
Yes. So I technically have 8 more bolts to use.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the first attack is a 13 to hit. Actually, no, it's a 15 to hit.
That'll hit.
7 damage. Second attack is a... Yeah, we got to finish this guy fast. That's a 16 to hit. I'm using the last 3 of my adrenaline to up this to a 16.
That'll hit.
For 9 damage. And the last one is a 25 to hit for 8 damage. And on top of that, there's another 4 damage, or a d4, so that's 2 more damage on top of that.
Artis, what happens
Oh,
as this huge creature, like 20 feet tall, it's whipping around? You see these tentacles coming off of where its arms should be, whipping at Burt especially, just dealing damage. You see it rearing up to do like this spin move where it spins tentacles all around, and you just crank that wheel and bolts go doof, 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 doof. What happens as that last bolt hits this creature?
Just crank it. Just crank it.
I thought you were going to say crank that soldier boy. Yeah, so honestly, what it does is like all three of those bolts are going right toward its head, and the third one actually severs its connection to the roof, and it starts to like slowly drift down to the ground.
Nice, very good. And we will cue victory music. All right, so here you guys are. This creature has tumbled down and is now laying lifeless on the floor here of this room. You can actually, as you look around, you see all this grass and seaweed. It starts to shrivel up and die. And you realize that this seaweed is not actually seaweed. It's sort of this kind of amalgamation of like...
It's puberty. It's getting hair in weird places.
Basically, the seaweed starts to die away and the grassy parts kind of start to drift away, and you see bones underneath. And these aren't like bones that were grown from the seaweed. This is like bones that the seaweed grabbed and built around. You are seeing this strange amalgamation of the underwater sea life actually using the dead bodies of the people who were here in this facility when the shattering happened to help strengthen and to make their attacks more powerful. It's some kind of strange fluke science experiment gone wrong. As you are standing here in this room, you see all these pylons are still zapping electricity back and forth and all through this central glass container.
Ember wants to be smart about the pylons this time, so she's going to cast Animate Objects on some of the medium-sized rubble in the room, and she's going to direct the rubble to move the pylons out of the way so that we can safely get to that contraption in the middle of the room.
Oh, that's really smart.
You could have even just cast it on the pylons themselves, probably. But as you cast,
it says it has to be a non-magical item, so I figured I might not be able to do it on pylons.
You're right. That's a good point. I imagine as Ember kind of bippity-boppity-boos this thing, it's kind of like the Sorcerer's Apprentice from Fantasia. The rebel kind of gets up and and starts to kind of move over and knock these pylons out of the way until this rebel has beat these pylons away, and they are still arcing electricity, but no longer is this central tube part of it. As you guys look in this tube, what you see, because this tube is more massive than the last one, you actually see 6 sealed clay pots that are roughly man-sized, and they look old, but they each have a yellow crystal embedded in the side of these pots. These pots are like sealed over, like an urn of some kind, with like wax or something. And as you kind of reach in and touch these pots, they don't feel like clay anymore. It's like the surface has changed to something much more rigid and much more substantial.
Like canopic jars?
Yes, exactly. You find 6 of these here in this tube. And as you guys you guys have more time now with this spell. It seems like this area is a little bit safer. You kind of move aside some of the rubble. You find some other kind of random, like tables and desks of experiments. And you do manage to find a large chest here in this vaulted area of the Imperial facility. It looks like it is locked with 3 very intricate locks that you know are going to take some time to work with, or you might have to find some kind of a key or something to open it, but you imagine...
Or somebody with a very skilled lizard.
Yes. But perhaps this chest might hold whatever the weapon or the sword or whatever was important in this facility. It might very well be in this chest. And as the JV team takes that chest, as well as these jars with them, back up to the surface, back up to the waiting airship, we are going to stop there for tonight.
Whew.
Okay.
What's the name of that jar guy from Elden Ring?
Oh.
Jar Jar Binks?
It's like Sir...
It's like Alexander or something or other.
Sir Alexander. Yes.
Oh.
Nice one.
Oh, you guys.
Yeah, no, it was Alexander the Jar Warrior.
Yes, Alexander the Jar Warrior. Yep. And he's a jar with arms and legs. It's great.
All right. Well, guys. Well, thank you guys for playing here on this spookiest of holidays, because I'm pretty sure this episode is being released on Halloween 2022. Ooh.
El Día de los Muertos.
Hey, thanks for listening. If you like what we're doing, which obviously you do, because this is like episode 84 or 85, somewhere around there, leave us a rating and a review. It really helps us out. Also, don't forget, go chat with us over on Discord. We have a lot of fun over there talking about different ideas and spoilers. Also, just talking about like art or just getting to know each other. Part of this community that we've developed here at the 12-Sided Guys.
Basking in the tears of our fans when a beloved character passes on.
Yes, that has been something that we have been doing as well. But yes, other than that, go check out our Patreon. I do stream on Twitch on occasion, and you can find out a bit more about that on the Discord. Go check out our shop too, because we have some awesome 12-Sided Guys gear, some Dodeca drip, I guess is what we're calling it. Not Dodeca duds, or either way. And yeah, so go check that out. And until we get together next time, we hope you have a spooky time.
I was working in the lab.